Hi everyone, welcome to this course on Easy 104 Azure Administrator. In this chapter, we will be looking at Azure AD Self-Service Password Reset or SSPR. Some of the prerequisites to enable this functionality in Azure AD. You should have a working Azure AD tenant with at least an Azure AD free or trial license enabled. And in the free tier, uh, SSPR only works for cloud users and Azure AD. And this functionality gives users the ability to change or reset their password with no help desk involvement or with no administrator involvement. So this actually helps uh, reduce help desk calls or and loss of productivity, right? So let's get started with a quick lab. So here I'm in my Azure portal. So let me move on to Azure Active Directory. So if you can go to password reset. So before that, I have gone to users. You can see I have a test user in place with the custom domain at the rate of Sheikh Mohammed 10. So let me move on to the password reset. Click on password reset. Here you can see currently it is not enabled for any of the users or groups. So, and also please note that here there is a notification in place. These settings only apply to the end users in your organization, meaning admins, user administrators always enable for self-service password reset functionality. Okay, so let's try to log into Azure portal with the test user and see if you're able to reset the password quickly. So I have a test user. So let me try to log in to Azure portal with this test user at the rate of custom domain. So if I click on forgot my password, so we can see you are navigated to a password reset page to get back into your account. So here you can see your email or username in place, and let's enter the passcode. I mean the characters in the picture. So if you're not able to see that clearly, you can just try to reload, and just you can try to enter those characters. Click on next. So here you can see that. So you can't reset your own password because password reset isn't properly set up for your organization. Right. So if you click on show additional details, you can see that SSPR, your organization hasn't set up a password reset policy. Okay, so let me go back to Azure portal. And I logged on with my administrator account. So move on to Azure Active Directory. Click on password reset. Let's try to enable this for the test user. So you can try to enable it for all of the users, or you can try and select a particular group of users. So here I have a test GRP that is already in place. So if you can click on test GRP, so if we want to please show you what all the users are part of that particular group. You can see the test GRP group is there. You can go to members, and here you can see I have the test user in place in test GRP group. So go on to password reset, click on selected users or groups, and let me click on save so that all the users in this test GRP group will have that SSPR enabled. Save. Okay, now we have the password reset policy in place. Let's try to now the test user account. You now click on forgot my password. Let's try to provide the characters. Now you can see the SSPR functionality is enabled for the user to reset their password. So a couple of options you can see here. Either uh, you can receive an email with a verification code, or you can text text to your mobile. You can get an SMS, or you can get a call to your mobile. Right. So you also have control to these options. If you need uh, uh, a single method or more than one method, right? So you can go ahead and proceed further and get the verification code by the means either through email or mobile, and then you can try and reset your password, right? So for now, let me cancel this. So let me go on to Azure portal, my administrator account, to Azure Active Directory, click on password reset, and here you can see there are other options in place like uh, authentication methods, right? Here you can see the number of methods that are required to reset. So currently methods that is actually required is just one is enough, right? If you click on two, user needs to pass through those couple of methods to authenticate, right? Authenticate and then do a password reset. So here you can see email and mobile phone, both the options are enabled. So you can also enable other options like security questions, right? So how many questions that are required to reset. And if you come to registration, so you can see the users needs to register when signing in. You also have that period, how many number of days uh, before users are asked to reconfirm their authentication information. So you have control over that as well, right? So, and I also wanted to show you one more thing quickly. So if we come to properties, and for now let's say we are disabling SSPR for all the users. Let me click on none and save. Okay, so let's confirm the SSPR functionality is disabled for that test user. Okay. Let me click on next, and yes, so now the SSPR functionality is disabled for this user, test user, right? So let me go on to the Azure portal now. Click on Azure AD, and what I'm trying to do now is, by default, Azure administrators will have that SSPR enabled. There's no need to uh, explicitly uh, provide or enable access to those administrators. So okay, now let me go on to users. Let me go on to my test user, click on assign roles, and here you can see there are no roles assigned to this user as of now. Let me click on add assignments. Let me search for user administrator role, check this and click on add. Now the user administrator role is successfully assigned to this test user. So let's click on refresh and make sure the role is in place for this test user. Now let me try to log on to that test user. Yeah, click on forgot password and see what happens. So let me try to provide characters picture. Okay. Next. Now you can see that the options are in place for the test user to reset their password. Thank you very much.